Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
I think it's one of those things you just can't get discouraged. You got to take your time, be patient.
Drivers scour the state line in search of new cars. Dealerships weigh in on what's stalling folks from driving off the lot.
When school lets out, many parents choose to enroll kids in summer camps. Camp directors show us what they're doing to keep students safe while having fun in the sun.
If I could describe teaching in one word, I would describe it as opportunity.
The show must go on for a state line high school band. The ensemble's director is recognized for never giving up on his students. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. The COVID pandemic has led to a shortage of products across several industries, from lumber to toilet paper to important car parts.
Michelle Rave caught up with a local man in search of a new car, and he says it's been months with no success. Michelle?
When you drive past local car dealerships, you'll notice many lots are empty. For some, high demand and low inventory is leading to a frustrating buying experience.
There's a little lighter inventory, that's for sure. I mean, and I'm not sure exactly what to attribute that to, but I don't see quite as many cars filling up the parking lots as I did.
Rockford resident Mike Castronovo has been looking for a car for the past 6 months.
It's challenging because you think that buying a car should be as easy as going to the grocery store and buying a box of cereal, but it's not.
He often runs into the same issue.
Usually they don't have it in stock. Usually it's a matter of we can probably get it, but we got to do a search. So that means a little bit of a wait time, even if it's a production model that's out. I've looked at used cars for like an around town car, not necessarily a highway, and I'm finding that sometimes the prices are double what I expected them to be for a used car. So yeah, there's a change there too.
Local dealerships say the automotive industry has been hit with high demand and low inventory.
There's always several factors that goes into what's going on, but one factor would be the high demand that probably wasn't seen. There was a chip factory over in Japan that burnt down, and it caused a supply chain issue with getting those chips, and has kind of slowed the production of several different manufacturers.
Castronovo says he'll use the time to research the perfect car.
I think it's one of those things you just can't get discouraged. You got to take your time, be patient, don't be in a rush.
Rosenberg advises people to not get discouraged in their car search. He says there's still cars available, but if there's a particular car you want, you might have to be patient. Eric.
Thanks, Michelle. Mask rules affect all facets of public life, from shopping malls to grocery stores to baseball games. Now, in the Illinois General Assembly, the Centers for Disease Control says if you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask in most cases. But in the Illinois House and Senate, those rules are still in place. A handful of House Republicans didn't put their masks on today till Democrats reminded them. The rules say they could be kicked off the floor. It sparked a short debate about the importance of leading by example.
I ask that all the members comply with House Rule 51.5 and wear their mask while in the House chamber.
CDC guidelines are pretty clear. If you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask inside, and I would urge this body to take up that thought.
Yesterday, Governor J.B. Pritzker relaxed his executive orders requiring people to wear a mask in public. He still opted to wear his.
The University of Illinois Shield test can get your COVID results in as little as 24 hours, but a new test developed by the school could have the same results ready much faster. Researchers say this new prototype device, called Scalable and Portable Testing, or the SPOT test, can process results in as little as half an hour. It works like a normal Shield test. All you have to do is spit in it. It can also be used to test for the flu virus, 3 other human coronaviruses besides COVID-19, and it can detect certain types of cancer.
What I'm excited is that this technology is so quick and sensitive, right? And particularly is scalable because of the low cost and because the high sensitivity.
Researchers hope the test will be approved for use campus-wide by the time students return in the fall.
More people in Winnebago County got protected from COVID. Rockford's Pilgrim Baptist Church on Central Avenue held a walk-in clinic. Members of the National Guard and medical workers delivered the dose. One doctor we spoke with says while some people are still hesitant to get the shot, the public health message is getting across.
Our community will show up. The people we're targeting will eventually come, and they will see that it's a good thing that we're asking them to do for the benefit of themselves as well as the community.
Pilgrim Baptist Church will host another walk-in clinic this Friday from 1 to 8 p.m.
Schools are almost out for the year, and before you know it, summer camps will be in session.
COVID canceled many activities last year. Ari Bruckman spoke with a few local camp organizers to learn about their pandemic requirements. Ari?
Eric and Mimi, school's almost over for the year. Now parents are preparing to send their kids to camp while trying to navigate their way out of this pandemic.
The biggest thing for kids is the routine, right? They want to get into some sort of sense of familiarity, and summer camp is a great way to provide that. So I think, us here at Kids Spot, we feel blessed to be able to provide that.
With summer camps beginning in a few weeks, some state line parents are wondering how camps will handle the COVID pandemic. Kids Spot manager Ben Childers says masks will still be required, but the vaccine will not. Telling me kids will be split into 8 smaller groups instead of the usual 3 larger groups to ensure camper safety.
It really is a blast. Every kid is coming in the morning excited, and by the time they leave in the evening, they're like tired, ready to go to bed, ready to come back the next day. They are drained. We have so much fun. It's so high energy. We're so happy that that's not going to go away, and it's going to be that much more safe because of the changes we're making.
Most of Brandy Mather's campers at Beauty and Motion Dance Arts are under 12, so they can't get a vaccine. She is leaving the option to wear a mask up to the campers' parents.
I think kids are excited, families are excited. I know that is one thing I hear is parents like, we want them to do something. What can we do to get them out of the house?
Mathers launched her dance studio during the pandemic and says finding success during COVID has been truly rewarding.
Being able in the midst of COVID and this pandemic to find the positive and success in that has been just a true blessing.
Both camps encourage parents to register their kids now as they expect many slots to be filled in the coming weeks. To learn how to sign up your child for each of these camps, visit this story on mystateline.com. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Ari. We have a traffic alert to bring you. A busy Rockford Road will undergo construction this week. Starting today, the east and westbound lanes of the Whitman Street Bridge, the ramp under the North 2nd Street Bridge, are shut down. Crews are working on the storm inlet there. The city asked drivers to take an alternate route or pass through using extreme caution. The project should wrap up Thursday.
If you're a Good Morning America fan, you might have seen a familiar face on the show today. Harlem High School band director Tim Perrion has gone above and beyond for his students this past year. When the pandemic hit, instead of canceling performances, Perrion made an effort to record, edit, and share his students' work with the whole district.
When I see them continue to show up every day and do what they love in the band room, that's really inspiring for me and makes me want to continue showing up for them in return.
I really hope that, even if you're not a band kid, I really hope that students have someone like him, whether it's a teacher or a boss or a mentor.
The McChesney Park native tells GMA he was inspired to pursue music education by his own band teacher at Harlem. After Tim graduated Northwestern, he knew he wanted to return to Harlem to teach music.
Investigations into the January 6th attack at the Capitol continue.
After the break, a high-ranking opponent says he won't back the bipartisan commission looking into the event.
Plus, think you have what it takes to become a Rockford police officer? The agency is hiring in full force. We'll have the requirements coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
So much needed rain continues to put a little bit of a dent in our rainfall deficit. We'll look at why a steady rain is better than a heavy rain when we've got drought conditions. That's coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
The top Republican in the U.S. House says he will not support a bipartisan independent commission looking into the deadly insurrection at the Capitol.
The plan has the support of Democrats, the White House, and even some Republicans, including local Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Our Washington correspondent Raquel Martin has more as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
This is not a game.
Democrats say they will move forward with plans to form a bipartisan commission investigating the January 6th attack at the Capitol, despite new pushback from House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
It really is not understanding the seriousness and the nature of what happened on January 6th.
The proposed commission is modeled after a similar 9/11 investigation and would examine both the origins of the riot and the security breakdown.
Clearly, we weren't prepared, and we need to be better prepared. That's what this is all about, right? And this can't be politics as usual.
But McCarthy calls the commission short-sighted and says other groups like Black Lives Matter should also be investigated following the at times violent unrest sparked by the death of George Floyd last year.
I'm not saying that we have decided this should not go forward.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he's concerned the commission is imbalanced and could interfere with other ongoing investigations.
Need to read the fine print.
But at a Tuesday hearing, Republican Congressman John Katko, who negotiated the commission's terms, defended its scope and purpose.
The American people expect Congress to put partisanship aside for the sake of our homeland security. That is exactly what this bill does.
It's hard to take Kevin McCarthy seriously at this point. I don't know what Kevin McCarthy is afraid of.
Democratic Congressman Hakeem Jeffrey says the House will vote on the proposal Wednesday. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, it took a little while this morning, but once we got to mid to late morning, the rain showers have moved in, and those will stay with us for at least the next couple of hours. While it's been fairly light, we've had a few steadier showers come down for parts of the area. Seeing a little more of that steady rain just focused a bit more to our north and to our northwest. Now, here as we go through this evening, we'll start to see these pockets become a little more numerous as that steady rain begins to taper off to a little bit more scattered activity, but we trace all this moisture straight down to the Gulf of Mexico as that continues to plume and lift northward here. We've got several disturbances rolling through parts of the plains and then into the Midwest, all kind of pulling that moisture northward, which is what has increased that rain for us this afternoon. And while we get a little bit of a break in some of that activity here later this evening, a few more scattered showers will be possible heading into the afternoon tomorrow. Let's look at some of our rainfall totals. It's not a lot, but at this point we'll take whatever we can get. Most of us have picked up right around 1/4 of an inch, but you go a little further east and southeast of Rockford where the rain was a bit more on the lighter end, those rainfall totals down just a bit and under 1/10 of an inch. Now, if we look at our rainfall totals here so far for the month of May, we are in a deficit, and we are in a deficit when we go back to the beginning of March, which is the beginning of meteorological spring, and the beginning of January, just 1.3 inches so far for the month. Now, this time of year when we're in the growing season, we need about 1 inch of rain per week. That is ideal as we get through the months here of May, June, and July. And while you might think a heavy rain when you're in a dry spell or in a drought is a good thing, it's actually not. So when we get those really heavy downpours, that does more harm than good, because think of how dry the soil is and how hard it is. So when that heavy rain comes down, all that's really doing is bouncing off that dry soil. It's not able to soak in. So a steady rain like this, what we have now, could be a little more heavy at times. That is able to work down and soak into the soil and much more beneficial than those heavy downpours that sometimes can come with thunderstorms. And when you're typically in a drought too, you don't see much thunderstorm activity, and it's hard to get some of those rain showers. So we'll take what we can get. The steady rain continues. However, it does begin to lighten up here as we go through this evening. Notice though, heading into tomorrow morning, another wave of energy comes up, so that'll bring us another wave of some lighter showers during the morning hours. Tomorrow, not as steady and not for as long as what we've had here for this afternoon and this evening. And any activity we see during the day tomorrow will be more scattered. We could actually hear a rumble of thunder with that as well. Now, ridge of high pressure builds a little bit further west during the day on Thursday, so that'll kind of keep any isolated shower activity west there of Interstate 39. A live look with our Mercial SkyTrack camera down in Rochelle this evening. The rain showers coming down. Our winds too, they've been a little on the breezy side from the southeast, gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour. We'll bring the temperatures up tomorrow, up near 79 for the afternoon, but then we begin that string of 80 degrees. In fact, getting into the upper 80s, guys, as we head towards Saturday, Sunday. I think we're going to see plenty of dry time for the weekend. There is kind of a backdoor cold front that comes down on Sunday, so that might bring us a few isolated showers, but you see, we don't get much difference in those temperatures because it lifts right back north on Monday. Middle of next week, that's when we could start to see that pattern break down.
We might start hearing some air conditioners humming quite a bit over the next few days. Candice, thanks.
Scott's in next to talk sports. The NBA play-in tournament begins tonight. LeBron James doesn't like it. We'll find out where Scott stands.
And can the Bucks do this year what they couldn't do last year? Get by the Miami Heat in the playoffs.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
The NBA playoffs don't start until this weekend, but the drama starts tonight. The play-in games begin in the East. The Hornets play the Pacers and the Wizards play the Celtics. The big game, though, everyone is focused on is the one tomorrow night between the Warriors and the Lakers. Those are two quality teams that could fail to even make the playoff field. The winner tomorrow will be in. The loser will have to win a second play-in game against another opponent to get into the playoffs. LeBron James recently said whoever came up with the idea of a play-in tournament should be fired. I've got to admit, when this concept came about last year, I thought it was crazy. Who would care about a bunch of bad teams battling to get into the playoffs? But when you've got Steph Curry and the Warriors going up against LeBron and the Lakers, that is must-see basketball. However, I prefer to see those two teams go at it in a best-of-5 or best-of-7 series rather than in a one-game showdown. I realize most of the public likes the idea of sudden death. That's why the NCAA tournament is so popular. And it's part of the intrigue of the NFL playoffs and college football playoffs. But in this case, it makes a championship-caliber team like the Lakers susceptible to an early exit. That would not be good for the NBA in the long run. So I'm still opposed to the play-in tournament, but I'm willing to give it another chance this week. Well, the Bucks don't have to worry about making the playoff field. They're in as the number 3 seed in the East, but they have a tough opening round assignment against the Heat. It was the Heat that knocked the Bucks out of the playoffs last year, and they could well do it again. This is a really deep team, even without Victor Oladipo. There's Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic. The Heat have 8 players who averaged in double figures this season and 2 more who just missed. With that type of depth, they have the ability to wear down the Bucks, who are more reliant on Giannis and Chris Middleton to carry them. Plus, the Heat are a great defensive team, and defense is far more important in the playoffs than the regular season, when teams tend to coast a lot. It would be nice to see the Bucks break through and reach the NBA Finals, but I'm picking the Heat to knock them off again in one heck of a series. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We'll continue to see the rainfall here. It'll become a bit more scattered over the next few hours, and then we'll actually get a little bit of a lull in some of the activity during the overnight tonight. Could see a few additional scattered showers tomorrow morning and then more isolated for the afternoon, but temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. You'll also notice the humidity going up a little too as we pull in more moisture, especially by the end of the week. Just isolated thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday. Looking like a mostly dry weekend, although could see a few showers Friday morning. Temperatures in the upper 80s.
Nice to get some rain, though. Thanks, Candice.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.